wanna feature me, cause they know I'm on the rise. Pay attention, I'm on a mission, cause ever since I flipped that switch, my power can't be denied. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. Call me a king, you can buy me a crown. Oh my, 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 oh my, my, my. I'm leveled up, and this is my world now. This is my world now. So anyone who try to write me off, tell them they can go and write this down. This is my world now. Pay attention, I'm on a mission. Man with a vision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Our family started RVing a few years ago, and when I think about all those campfires and fishing trips and sporting events, these are memories that are going to last a lifetime. I want to help others do the same thing. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, General Manager at the all-new Clickit RV in Milton Freewater. People in this community are very familiar with this location and the great service they've always received. So the biggest question we get is, where is Keith? The great news is, Keith is still here.
I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of things come and go. Through all the changes that we have seen, one thing that has not changed for us is the quality of our service.
Buying an RV is a big purchase, but it should be a fun and happy experience. So whether it be in sales or service or parts, our mission is simple: be the best. From our team here at Clickit RV in Milton Freewater, we invite you to come down and experience the difference.
From the virtual World Center of Racing, that is the Daytona International Speedway. Good Sunday evening to you, and welcome to a new era for your home for sim racing, as we welcome you to a series that is normally prominently known, famous for the dirt iRacing eSports platform. They're going pavement, and this is their exhibition race from Daytona. It's the World of Thunder eSports League Truck Series, and we've got it for you tonight. 125 miles, 50 laps. This is coverage, of course, of iRacing on LSRTV. I'm Wesley Outland. Justin Prince is alongside. Charles Wooten is in the Clickit RV LSRTV production booth, handling the production. And Justin, this is like the duel, or what used to be the Gatorade Twin 125s, except it's one 125-mile qualifying race. This exhibition should be fun, but it should go by quickly.
It should be intriguing to see which drivers put themselves up towards the front and keep themselves clean tonight, because it's a chance to have some fun, chance to see how drivers play out. Already 43 drivers, once the qualifiers confirmed from the race control meeting, will make tonight's field out of the 60 entrants. So we'll see which drivers can keep up the tempo in qualifying, and in turn be able to keep up the tempo in the race and keep themselves out of trouble as the night progresses.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting and very, very fun. And of course, one of the things that you know the ins and outs of the iRacing world more than I do, my friend. Obviously, can we explain that this exhibition has been open to any and everybody if you meet the iRacing rating qualifications to run this race? And because of that, we have got quite a plethora of trucks ready to go here today.
We have a wide range of experience, is the best way to phrase that, because you have, in terms of iRating side of things, you have drivers brand new to the service, at least 6 different drivers with rookie safety licenses on the ovals. That's going to be intriguing for them. You have a lot of drivers who are below the 1,000 iRating mark, a grand total of about 7 of them. But in turn, at the top of the spectrum, you also have a lot of names that have competed in some high-end leagues. Matt Bruno amongst the top totals in terms of the iRating game, but it's not just about the iRating. It's about how you race in as a whole, reputation-wise, over the campaigns. Ben Hancock, for example, someone with good reputation over for Winsdale competition. Jason Salter looking to show some good speed tonight. He was looking very clean amongst the practice. You have drivers like Bryce Stafford, who's been around for a long time. You have Chris Hancock, the brother of Ben Hancock, along with Stephen Haslett, who have both run leagues by reputable organizations. And Brian Rainville, a longtime veteran of the platform, he's somebody that's raced really well on super speedways over his career. He was more so known in the mid-2010s, rather, on the iRacing platform for being amongst some of the higher-up splits. So some well-known drivers in terms of, if you've been around iRacing long enough, you've likely met them once.
Yeah, they're quite a talent for sure. Going to be watching to see what these drivers can do here at the Virtual World Center of Racing. As the drivers meeting is just about to conclude, we'll then go into qualifying. Qualifications will set the lineup with a 60 cap field. There is an opportunity to see 60 drivers on this racetrack. And of course, again, 125 miles, 50 laps for this exhibition race to kick off the new season. Let's take a look at the Kaufman Creative weather conditions. 84 degrees the air temperature, track temp is at 90, a little wind, 8 miles per hour, and it's partly cloudy skies, but for right now, beaming sunshine around virtual Daytona. Justin Prince.
Track temperature fairly grippy. Keep in mind, it's an early morning in sim time, so that explains that part of it there. The wind speeds, rather, going to be a bigger concern. Currently, that wind locked towards the banking in turns 3 and 4. So that's going to cause a bit of a crosswind in the corners, make it a little bit more destabilized. But a truck that already is a little bit destabilized when you try and push a competitor and do so with the bumper rather than with the aero bubble. So a lot of tensions potentially once the racing gets underway with how shaky you could be in the corners.
And again, the World of Thunder, primarily known as a dirt program, and now changing things over, getting away from the now coming over to the pavement side of the sport with these trucks. And of course, the trucks are always highly entertaining. You check them out as always with the Northwest Racing Series tomorrow night. Of course, we're back in action. And then in addition to that, we also have now the split 2 for the eNASCAR Road to Pro qualifying on Thursdays when they competed. You could check out the replay and the highlights for both the Northwest and the eNASCAR Road to Pro race from Texas, of course, on LSRTV. If you're new to LSRTV coverage, hit that subscribe button. Follow us on social media at LSRTV. Should be an exciting one. And before I do go any further, Justin Prince, I had real motorsports obligations, and I am actually, for the second time in my iRacing career with LSRTV, high above a press box at Carteret County Speedway in Swansboro, North Carolina, calling the race with you, Justin, up in Canada. And then, of course, I do want to say thanks to Bob Lowry and Judy Ellis for letting me be able to stay here after everything is quiet, the haulers are loaded up, and everybody's heading home to continue to do this iRacing broadcast with y'all this evening. But again, we should have some fun here at Daytona as we're about ready to get set for qualifying.
It should be a fun night. It should be an intriguing race in terms of who ends up running throughout the night and which drivers end up showing what they can do as the night goes on. We'll have to see which drivers do well as this evening plays out, to say the very least. There's a lot of eyeballs on tonight, but there's also there's not as much pressure tonight since it's an exhibition. It's about fun.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's right now the checkered flag will come out over the flag stand, and we'll get them reset to re-go for qualifying here. And as you said, there's quite a plethora of drivers ready to go here, close to 50 plus. And again, with a cap of 60, that means that we could see all of these drivers take the green flag. And in addition to that, as qualifying gets on track, double pit boxes, that's something we'll think about. But Justin, as we get qualifying underway with Bryson Dafford on the track first of the number 18 truck for the World of Thunder Esports League new era here at Daytona for this exhibition race, do you got to worry about pitting for a 50-lap race, do you think?
Yes, it's still a one-stopper on the fuel. It's about when you pit, though, because depending on what you elect to do in the midst of said pit stop sequences, you might be able to potentially take a 2-tire stop and just top off, depending on if you go for the early call. You might be able to try and pit later on, but you have to be able to mathematically calculate how much fuel you'll actually need for the race car. So to answer the question, yes, you need a pit. It's the matter of when, because it's not just as simple as take 4 tires and go. Because if you truly want to be able to break away from the pack once things settle after the pit stops, if we get green flag stops, should say, you need to be able to have everything calculated right, but have the track position to be able to keep up with those trying to break away. You can have up to 3 trucks, actually, if you have enough speed in them, who can break away from everybody else tonight by doing that call.
So Bryson Daffrin to bring his Chevrolet Silverado through the tri-oval here off of turn number 4, as he is now working his way to the back straightaway, ready to see what this guy can do here, as we have other drivers on the clock, including Brandon Gibbs, Donnie Batiste, Michael Eden, Adam Lecce, all these drivers now working around turn number 3 and 4 for qualifying, and they got less than 8 minutes to go in a 10-minute qualifying run to get that perfect lap. And again, you get that dead lap to come to speed. You got to be perfect here, as here comes Daffrin crossing the line. 52.594 seconds. He came out P1. He'll qualify right now in P1 there, Justin.
Yeah, and the tough thing's going to be how things play at the second lap. The second lap is the quicker one out of the 2 usually. And it really depends on driver to driver these days. Do you stay along the traditional outside in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in the first lap, then move to the yellow line in the second? Some drivers have started to shuffle that towards running the bottom in 1 and 2, then the middle down the backstretch, then bottom in 3 and 4 to be able to build up some speed for the second lap. So it's down to preference on how it works. It's different driver to driver and truck circumstance and setup to truck circumstance. Daffrin should say, started off with the flyer. I don't know how the second may play here. He didn't use the apron either, just too slow.
So Daffrin will finish up with his qualifying lap, and he's going to fall all the way back to 7th, as of course his first lap is fast speed, 52.59, but not good enough for the pole now, as he's now been bumped to 7th. Josh Fuller has now gone to the P1 spot. Here comes Terry Davis on track now, driver of that number 77 machine, as he works his way off of turn number 4, coming through the tri-oval. We'll see where Terry will end up here as he crosses the line. Terry Davis will. Right now, I think that was actually his dead lap. Yeah, that was his setup lap, the dead end 2, if you will. All the while, Josh
right in the middle.
Fuller. Go ahead, Josh.
Well, in regards to Josh Fuller, he's one of the drivers with more so dirt experience. Seeing the D1RT logos on that, that's one of the main eSports organizations in dirt racing. So a lot of drivers in Woodtail competition coming over from the dirt side take part on the pavement, because it's one of the, I wouldn't say easier tracks per se, but more easier to get yourself acclimated into compared to, say, being thrown to the wolves at a track like Richmond or Legacy Atlanta with the trucks.
Terry Davis will cross the line as he will go on the lap for first lap. It's third best, 52.54. And right now, Matt Bruno, that's why I had 52.52 on the brain, Justin Prince. Matt Bruno is now the new quick qualifier. But yes, the idea was to attract some of the pavement drivers to what the World of Thunder eSports banner was, but also to bring those dirt brethren that have been around for a long time to continue to run under the World of Thunder eSports League and run in this sanctioning Sunday Night Truck Series.
And keep in mind, there have been a few drivers who have been able to compete at the high levels on the dirt side, who've crossed over or attempted to cross over onto the pavement side of the stock cars on the sim. For example, drivers that come to mind, James Edens, for example, is amongst those trying to road to pro qualifying campaign and eNASCAR competition. You have, of course, Stephen Wilson, who competed in some world championships on the dirt side and still believe does, but has been more beneficial now on the oval side after starting initially on the dirt side. There were a few drivers making that transition. And being able to perform at a level like this, or rather come away with checker flags in a series down the line such as this, is going to be a huge step to say, okay, I've done this. let's try and see if we can improve even more.
Logan York on track now. The number 02 Toyota working his way now. Ford down the back straightaway, of course. And right now we'll see what he can do. Matt Bruno, Stephen Hassett, Howie Mayer, followed by Terry Davis, Josh Fuller, Reed Sanders, J.R. Scruggs, Adam Lechty, followed by Johnny Wood. Kevin Lachane is right now Lachance top 10 as they are currently qualifying here off of turn 4, and that clock is down to 3 minutes. And you got to think, Justin, as Logan York just wrapped up his qualifying lap here, getting ready to come to the line. They're going to probably take advantage of this entire 10-minute qualifying session. Logan York, he needs another lap. He's got to pick it up 31st on lap number 1.
However, I believe he has bumped one driver out of the show. Mark Goodale, who's already completed qualifying, is outside the top 43. Matthew Logan, believe, is amongst those now rushing to get on the racetrack here. If you're amongst those who have not put in a time here and you still plan to race tonight, you better get on circuit a few minutes ago. There might not be enough time for even Matthew Logan to get 2 laps in now.
Of course, there is a open qualifying right now in that 10-minute session, which means that the server opens for every driver to come on the track separately, all at the same time in unison, and make their lap. And right now we see what Logan York will do. He picks it up, goes to 26th, and I think another driver just got bumped there as Matthew Logan is on Speedway now. This is the X-Racing number 41. And a story about Matthew Logan, Justin Prince, good friend of mine of the dirt racing world. He is also not only a crew member on the Matt Long racing team of super late model racer out of Concord, North Carolina, but he is also one of the people that do the prep at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Matthew Logan on course.
Yeah, looking decent, again, amongst those preferring the bottom line compared to the preferred top groove. That's been the quicker margin for a lot of the top qualifiers. But as long as he puts in a solid time, I think he can make the show. The benchmark is a 52.7 for the second lap. So all he has to do is don't wreck it. Don't get into an incident. In other news, one driver, believe Nicholas Holycross, does not realize he's out of the show and is trying to jump on the track, not to qualify, but to practice.
Well, yeah, you're qualified now, not practicing, my friend. Right now, it's for real. It's on the clock as Matthew Logan works his way through the Geico restart zone. Coming to the line, checkered flag, or at least the white flag will go up for the 41. And he is 5th best. I don't know if I'd make another lap for that matter, Justin.
No.
You're in the show.
Yeah. He's in the show in 5th from a first lap qualifying run. Pretty impressive, to say the very least.
Well, here comes the driver you were talking about, Nicholas Holycross in the 14.
I'm going to repeat this again. There was a driver's meeting in the final 10 minutes of practice. I'm almost wondering if these drivers didn't get the memo from the driver's meeting that said you need to be top 43 in qualifying, because there's no way they're going to get times out. He and James Hickson did not come out until the final minute and 30 seconds.
Donnie Batiste right now, the bump spot in that 67th spot. Costello, Goodell, Holycross. Will he make it? I don't think he will. 10 seconds are on the clock in qualifying. And I think
don't think he's going to make it.
I give up. I think he just said, I give up. This is over. Qualifying's done. And Matt Bruno, 52.52 seconds, is the man that is on the pole. The field is gritting 125 miles, 50 laps. Let's go to the virtual Daytona and the starting lineup for the Exhibition World of Thunder Esports League event. Matt Bruno, fast qualifier, 52.52 seconds on the pole, and Stephen Hassett alongside of the 91. Row 2 here at Daytona. Howie Mayer in the 5.52, Terry Davis in the 77. Row 3, Matthew Logan in the 41, and Josh Fuller in the 12. Row 4, Reed Sanders in the number 25, and J.R. Scruggs in 54. Justin, top 10, Adam Lechty in the 46, and Johnny Wood Jr. in the 52.
Double shot starts in 11th spot. Brian Rainville, a longtime sim racer in his well-known 60, starts in row 6. Jonathan Byram starts in behind them in rows 7 to 9 in the 16. Starts alongside Gary Harger. Jason Salter, we mentioned a name to keep an eye on to see how he plays things out for 15th. He'll start alongside Clay Tipton. Then it's Jordan Hale starting in the 17th spot. He'll start alongside Jaden Sheehan. Rounding at the top 20, one of the drivers with the rookie stripes. It's Chevelle Presley in the 44. Bryson Dapper, no more so as a dirt racer in the top 20.
Row 11, Jason Coburn in the 217 and Robert Denton in the 20. Row 12, Brandon Gibbs in the 34 and Josh Williams alongside of the 55. Row 13, Derek Redfield in the 39 and Landon Price in the 27. Row 14, Logan York in the 02 and Austin Mitchell in 17. And to round out the top 30, Ty Dowman in 38 and Brandon Beckstead in the 36.
Behind them in the running order is Greg Thompson. The third Greg Thompson of the iRacing Service should say in 31st, and it's Michael Latorski in 32nd. Christopher Bamber looks to try and bam his way up to the front without making contact, of course. They'll start alongside Brent Evans. Behind them in row 18, it's Mike DeGroot in 35th position, Brendan McNeil in 36th. The top 40 rounding out towards this mark, Dennis Cochran 37th, 38th on track is Joshua Sutherland. Then rounding out the top 40, Michael Eden will start alongside Jason Russo. And once that top 40 grouping. And the last three drivers, Jed Presley, Cody Leak, as well as Donnie Matthias. The rest of the drivers in. Everybody past that mark of the 67 is done for the night.
That includes, of course, drivers like Jonah Overstreet, Tanner Mills, Michael Sullivan, all these guys, Pickard, Glametti, Bloodsmith, Bloodworth, Ryan, Hancock, McNeil, Alkus, Goodale, Hickson, Costello, Dobbs, Berry, and DeGroot are out. Thank you for at least attempting, but the 43 truck field is set. By the way, we got to remember something here before we go to the green flag, Justin. We talked about this in our preview. 2 laps have to be completed before they stick it 3 wide around the racetrack, and you cannot go below the double yellow line to advance your position.
So the latter one is pretty straightforward. In terms of the former one, not expecting too much unless it gets towards the later stages. Then it gets tricky to make sure you do that unless in the green, white, checkered scenario. But I will say the one thing they're doing right now, this is something they're trying to carry over from the dirt side. A salute to the fans. It's hard to do at Daytona, though, to be able to fit 4 wide.
Yeah, pretty cool, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to actually stick them 4 wide. The most exciting dirt pro eSports series in the land, from modifieds, big blocks, super late models, and more, is now coming to pavement. And it all starts at the Virtual World Center of Racing. They're going to go 4 wide. We're going to go 4 wide, probably another lap, and then we're going to send them off for 125 miles. 50 laps the distance. Here's the thing, Justin Prince. This is going to be a fast race. You have got to get to the front if you're in the back, and if you're in the front, you got to hold your position, because this race will be over in a flash.
If it goes green, the race can be done within about an hour. If you have cautions build up, we're talking about 90 minutes. That's not a lot of time to work around this racetrack. It's a one-stopper on the fuel. It's just about the strategy on how you play that said strategy if it ends up getting to that green flag mark. It's important to also mention that tonight, they are utilizing the restart zones on iRacing that have been implemented and have been reactivated at a majority of racetracks after some tweaks with the new build last month. From the understanding of the community and from various tracks that had some of those triggers before, it is much more improved from the understanding compared to the previous iteration. You still need to be careful, though, to go inside those blue restart boxes.
What an absolutely amazing sight, ladies and gentlemen. 4 wide. I'm not going to lie to you, Justin Prince. I just pulled out my cell phone and I took a picture of that awesome view from Charles Wooten in the production booth as the field coming 4 wide. 43 trucks strong down the front straightaway. There's something you don't see every day in the world of pavement, much less for iRacing. 4 wide, 43 trucks, and then we're going to send them off for the race of this big exhibition with the World of Thunder eSports League, and of course, every Sunday night, right here, iRacing on LSRTV, my friend.
Drivers being told they'll start sorting themselves up for the restart and start procedure, should say. That's what they're going to do. Break up the 4 wide now to set up for the start of this race. And it's going to be important for drivers to handle themselves cleanly and make sure they're smart on their moves all night long, because it's a full field of trucks. It's a busy time around this track. And I think one thing that should be considered here, technically the max pit stall limit is 40 at this track. 3 people who started the back for tonight are about to find out how it is to pit with someone else in your pit stall at this track.
The World of Thunder eSports League was founded in 2017 with people that are behind it like Stephen McMillian, Brett Wheeler. For a long time, the dirt broadcasts were on. I'm thinking we will go back to green this time by for the official start.
They just indeed advanced it to 1 to green at that flag stand. Matt Bruno, I'm curious to see how he does here. Seems to be amongst those who have been very quiet and deceptive on the rise of the platform. When it comes to Hasselett, keep in mind, though, he has been someone who races in several different leagues in that 91. Usually does well in the super speedways, though. Gonna be intriguing what the strategy play is for a race like this tonight, because usually I've seen him towards the back, preferring to stay out of the trouble. So we'll see which cards are played with these trucks, though, with how big of the runs you can get with them.
Settle the nerves. Tighten those belts if you're in them virtual iRacing rigs, and prepare to go, as it's about to be for real this time by when they work back around off the super stretch. Again, the distance with that beautiful 43 truck field, 23 rows. It'll be again 125 miles. That is 50 laps. That is what the old distance used to be for one of the Gatorade Twin 125s back in the day of what would be the Winston Cup Series. Now they run 175 miles, 60 laps for the duels of today during speed weeks. We're ready, though, for the World of Thunder eSports League. The Dirt Warriors, welcome to pavement. Welcome to coverage of LSRTV. And as the field gets ready to come to the tri-oval, we're ready, we're set. Green is out. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race. And Bruno will get the whole shot, Justin, as they'll send him off into turn number 1.
And a black flag in sim just cleared on by from that start box. Hasselett was a full truck length back. The top line not building the momentum too quickly yet. Several drivers are already trying to dodge to the bottom of the racetrack. Hasselett now picking up the momentum. Terry Davis trying to go for the tandem trap to clear on by. One driver in the teens elects to pull to the back, as well as a second in the 20s, as Hasselett drives his way up to the point with the help of the push of the Brown machine behind the 77 of Davis.
I'm sure the rule has been given to any late drivers that you have to go 2 laps before you're allowed to stick them 3 and 4 wide. And right now, everybody is minding their P's and Q's. Through the tri-oval, storming at speed on lap 1, Stephen Hassett will lead the opening lap of the World of Thunder eSports League Truck Series at Daytona. Davis, Fuller, right there, knows the tail up on the outside. Here comes now a move by Meyer to the bottom in 2.
Bruno starting to build the momentum to lead that bottom line going. Keep in mind, the runs can go fast, they can come quick. It's important to be able to stay pushing efficiently. That's what Davis doing out the outside. No push for Bruno this time. Meyer pulls back, letting the truck cool off. This allows Hasselett to stay up front.
Leaders work their way into turn number 3. Hassett up on the outside lane. He's already got slow trucks in front of him as they get ready to put 2 laps on the board. Hassett will pass them like they're just a wet sack of potatoes up on the outside. Davis now will go to second. Fuller third. Those drivers will now make the outside work to their advantage. Jumping out of line, going the lock on Logan. Fuller looking to the bottom into turn 1.
Green light given now for drivers if they want to try 3 wide this early in the race. One driver over the radio, Austin K. Mitchell, screamed with excitement. We can now go 3 wide. Nobody taking the dare yet. Bruno with a huge push to Josh Fuller. Now he ditches Fuller down to the top side. Down the bottom is Fuller. Bruno to the point.
We're in trouble, and the leader crashes. They're flying through the air. Maybe going 3 wide has just caused one of the biggest wrecks of their dirt iRacing career here now in pavement for the World of Thunder. And we just had a, if you will, dirt track pile up on the super speedway at Daytona. Man, oh man, I've lost count, Justin, how many trucks are involved in that pile up. Oh my.
On the first instance of 3 wide too, I'm not sure what to really say. It seems like the 77 getting contact from Matthew Logan in the 41. Up the middle they went. And this, well, with everyone starting to just get comfortable with the 3 wide, full throttling into it, at least 20 drivers involved. A faster pair is available in the pit lane, but at least 10 trucks having to use them now.
And more trucks, almost half the field possibly involved in probably one of the biggest iRacing wrecks I've ever seen. You're on board now. Man, oh man, what a crash. Take a listen. It all breaks loose here. Oh!
He was committed. There's nothing you can do when just as soon as you get comfortable and get yourself up the middle, boom, the hole closes in front of you and you have to hope you can come to a dead stop, and unfortunately that's not how that works. So all that coming up from the first instance of 3 wide of the race. I'm not sure how the field may feel about that again. But put it bluntly, that did not need to happen, as some drivers said over the radio.
No, too early. Now, Justin, my question is this. Do you think that accident happened because of the inexperience of going 3 wide with these drivers that are normally racing on dirt? But, I mean, you could go dirt 3 wide.
I mean, some of the drivers up throughout the night may have never raced against each other in some circumstances. I think it's more so the cause of the incident is just needing to be aware of the exact lines and distances and separations from door to door amongst the trucks, because I think that was a big factor of it. It's worth noting, though, this has already mixed up the strategy with so many drivers having to get damage repairs done and so many fast repairs having to get done that you have just 5 drivers staying out there. That's how many trucks just got absolutely demolished here because of that first incident of the race.
Now, we will let everybody know, you said there is a fast repair, correct? So they do get a fast repair.
They do have a fast repair available, and I can say the 10-plus drivers who picked up mandatory repairs have either parked it or taken the fast repair. So for the most part, we have kept everyone in the field, but the tough part is, now, if they get into more trouble, they don't have a fast repair for later.
Wow.
I mean, you don't expect it on lap 3.
No. And again, you said, oh, goody, everybody was antsy to go until we just wadded them up over there. My goodness, wow. Big trouble there. Trucks are on the pit lane, service being done. Massive cloud cover now over the Virtual World Center of Racing as the lights go off on the pace car. We'll reset them and go again. 5 laps in of 50 for this 125-miler exhibition race to
77 just, hold on, the 77 who just got the cause for the caution just doored the 36.
Oh, wow. So a little
we're supposed to be grinning side by side up, and the reason we're all so separated is, for some reason, the 77 after the penalty just ended up getting into contact. I think the 36 just drove into the side of the driver who caused the caution.
That's Terry Davis in the 77. 36 is Brandon Beckstad in the top 15. So definitely maybe some frustrations there. Or maybe just a simple mistake. But it sounds like, Justin, you heard him say he ran right into him. So.
Oh, and some more people are trying to check up. Some people are trying to come in for a landing into the pack at near full throttle. And I'll put this lightly, you need to be smart when it comes to catching up to the field in the first place. A lot of drivers are still trying to catch the said field right now. And I'm not sure what the 36 is doing. I think they're starting 5th, yes, after dooring the 77 under caution.
So the lights are off on the pace car. It's going to pill onto the pit lane. Matt Bruno, Reed Sanders now in the front row in the Geico restart zone. Green flag goes back in the air. 36 below the yellow line. Beckstead, correction with a problem. He's fallen way back as we go back to green into turn 1 and give it to Bruno in the corner on the bottom.
Indication over the radio, he planned to do that. I don't think the field was expecting the second the green flag waved, but he was planning to move to the apron. Adam Lighty trying to work with Bruno on the bottom. Reed Sanders, nobody to help him on the top side though. Several drivers trying to regain some track position. Howie Meyer electing to go up top side. Hassel doing the same with Jordan Hale trying to tandem as the bottom line has the numbers in 3.
Couple of drivers on the bottom of the racetrack. There's Bruno. Lenny's up there, and now with Rousseau and LaChance, all these new drivers in the top 5 as they come storming off of the tri-oval out of turn 4. Back to the line. Bruno, 5-6 laps now on the board. Now remember, you got to at least wait 2 laps before you can go 3 and 4 wide per each restart. Bruno, though, leads that 51 NOS Energy machine off the corner.
Currently the bottom with a lot more momentum and numbers. At least 6 drivers clear on the bottom side. Reed Sanders just does not have the tempo. That may change soon. Greg Thompson wants to go high. Kevin LaChance goes high. Here comes the Ford and the 45, looking to try and side draft a bit to get alongside for 3rd.
Bruno trying to hold everybody at bay. LaChance and Thompson trying to sneak into the top 5. Got trucks going below the yellow line. Got trucks coming to the pit lane. Back off into the corner, side by side. Now they've been given the go sign to go 3 wide again. We'll see what happens with LaChance now going to the lead as they're 3 wide in the front pack out of 2.
45 trying to clear, can't yet, a little bit of a slide. Huge pushes from Thompson all over the back end and Weeble wobbling. Another hard shove for LaChance. Thompson trying to push him forward, nearly clear. Bruno heading to 3. The TW Motorsports truck, another combo in a shove in the corner, nearly spins him.
Good save there by those drivers as they work into turn 3 and 4. Bruno now back to the top spot. Lengthy, LaChance, Rousseau, Thompson's top 5. They work back to the start-finish line. Stays to the inside is the machine of Matt Bruno. Bruno now back to the bottom. Remember, you can't go below that double yellow line to advance your position. And now LaChance will now get something started up on the top. He's got Thompson with him. They work their way into turn number 2. Now they're door-to-door at full song. It looks like they're behind the pace car.
Now that top line has really built up the numbers they've been looking for. Thompson still trying to shove. Chance getting pushed off center. Into the wall goes LaChance.
Oh, no.
They slide to the inside. 2 trucks go sliding. The rest of the leaders continue to fight. No race control cautions. There's the caution from the sim as Jason Salter and a few others come back into the pack.
So the yellow flag will fly for the 2nd time after another multi-truck accident. Exiting the end of the Daytona Super Stretch, Justin Prince saw it break loose to the back straightaway.
Yeah, keep an eye on what happens, and there is a main mindset with these trucks. If you push with the bumper, you have to be square. You preferentially, as the truck, need to push more so with the bubble than the body, and unfortunately off-center, Salter sent for right through the grass, and that is like ice. Already said jumping, they wreck above, and then up to the banking he goes as several cars wreck and several trucks wreck around them.
So another multi-truck accident puts us back under the yellow flag for the exhibition race of the World of Thunder eSports League from Daytona. 10 laps in, about to put lap 11 on the board here in just a moment. Still under 40 laps to go. By the way, that gives us an opportunity to mention my good friend Brian Morehouse and the Virginia 811 Dig with Care caution information summary right now. 2 cautions, 3 laps total, 2 lead changes in this 125 miler. And Justin, we got almost everybody behind Bruno coming into the pit lane here on lap number 11.
And not a surprise when it comes to your front runners. More so intrigued about those who were not involved in some of the incidents electing to come down, trying to top off here. They are still outside the fuel marks by a couple laps. Bruno absolutely blisters past his pit stall. Bruno going to lose some time likely here as there goes the 57 Russo missing a stall. Bruno still becomes the first off the lane though with just the fuel only.
So the 51 of Matt Bruno, NOS Energy Toyota back onto the pit lane. Entering first, exiting first, and he'll wait to come back on track from the blend line out of turn number 2. Justin, I ask you this question. How difficult or even easy is it to adapt from being a regular dirt competitor of iRacing to then racing into the pavement structure in the format?
I still would argue it's more difficult. It's even more difficult even trying to learn dirt in the first place as a pavement driver. But I will say this. When it comes down, when there's so loose the tendencies on what you need to do to drive with the dirt, and then you try for the first time the stock cars, for example, that's where you need to be able to not only learn, it's not as simple as just turning left. It's an art form of how much you need to put onto the gas pedal, how you need to lift off the throttle. Do you need a lifting coast? Do you need a clutch if you need to save fuel? Do you have to go half throttle or 3/4 throttle burn? Do you need to try and utilize the brakes? In turn, when you get back into the gas, how do you make sure you don't cook the right front tire? How do you make sure you don't cook the right rear tire? It's a long list, but depending on who your connections are and how much time you put into it, it is something you can pick up fairly decently. If you just need to be, again, smart. And don't forget, a lot of the drivers who come from railroad dirt backgrounds prior to when iRacing had dirt probably have already raced in the stock cars. It's the newer drivers who may be those who say, I'd prefer to race on dirt and maybe go to Daytona or Talladega when it's an oval race, that then you have to ask, what can they do to adapt when you go to a special intermediate or a road course, or better yet, a short track, or anything that doesn't require just the full throttle or just the crack of the throttle.
Very good point. I'll take that into account for sure. As again, we've got some of these new drivers that have cut their teeth on the dirt side, and then we've got even the opportunity in the word of exhibition. Justin, you told me this after I wrapped up my race announcing real race obligations at Carteret County Speedway when we were just kind of preparing with me, you, and Charles, and you point blank said it's a free-for-all. It's an open invitation with this exhibition race, and I guess the 43 best are the ones that made it to this historic night for the Wall of Thunder.
And when it means open invitation, I mean, as long as you know how to open up the iRacing UI, find a hosted session, and then want to race at Daytona, that's how open the invitation was. In terms of those who have popped up so far, been really impressed by Bruno, been really impressed by the driver's team throughout the past as well, throughout the various series. Josh Fuller, I'm more so intrigued because he's been doing well. Keep in mind, some of those UNRT drivers have tried to cross over to the oval side.
Ready for the restart. The field will come back up to speed on lap number...
We got a wreck in the restart box. Chevelle Presley and a couple others wrecked in the back, and now the caution's out as several cars are stopping from start and finish line.
Well, I was ready to bring him back to speed into turn number 1. Justin Prince caught the action in the Geico restart zone, and it triggers the third caution. Justin, what happened over there as they were coming back to the green?
Well, to put it lightly, if you are coming to a restart, you need to be aware of what's happening in front of you. Make sure you don't necessarily jump it, and especially with this type of a box, it's really not a jumping type of box. Everybody is slamming on it, and then you have Presley on top of it come on and crash on in. So the main issue more so was just somebody running to the back end. Christopher Bammer, a part of the trigger, hitting the back end of Joshua D. Sutherland. The caution flag up there.
So another yellow flag triggered with the caution out again here.
And this is just clumsy. You see already some separation. See missed times with the throttle, and then Bammer thinks, okay, we can go a little bit. Runs the back end, and then they just stack up.
Yeah.
And there's at least 3 drivers back there who plow into it because they were trying to catch up to the back of the field still, not expecting a full stop.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of the nice way of saying it. As we go back under the caution flag here, right on the restart trouble, as everybody has got to get on the binders here, as it's still Jordan Hale now being showed as the leader. Matt Bruno, the pole truck, now the second. Josh Fuller, Ted Presley, Adam Lechty now is around the top 5, as we are still with a lot of racing here left to go. It's been eventful with a lot of cautions in the early going of this 50-lap race.
And drivers are starting to consider the restart box too, because some of that seems to be the intrigue on how to play it. And to put it simply, when it comes to the restart box, there's a certain speed limit you have to keep yourself at before the leader controls the restart and hits the gas in the midst of that square in the box. If you are, say, on the outside line and past the pace speed limit, you can get an instant black flag. You can also pick that up in a couple of different areas. You need to essentially not pass the leader for the start and finish line. I can't believe I have to say it because that's a rule that comes into the real world and is one that's repeated several times. But we've come up to where a couple times tonight, some drivers on the outside have started better than those on the inside and nearly passed them. You can't do that.
Well, with that being said, we'll have to reset and try this again. Thanks to everybody for checking us out. Of course, our World of Thunder eSports League Dirt audience. By the way, if you want to join iRacing and get involved with either dirt or pavement or the World of Thunder eSports League or the Northwest Racing Series, eNASCAR, Road to Pro, and more, scan the QR code on the screen right now. We'll keep it up for about another 15, 20 seconds so you can take that picture on your QR app, do the QR code, find out more information, and get signed up on one of the best virtual platform simulations of motorsports known to man. It's iRacing. And you're watching coverage of the World of Thunder eSports League of iRacing on LSRTV. I'm Wesley Outlet, high above the Carteret County Speedway in Swansboro, North Carolina. Thanks again to Bob Lowry and Judy Ellis for letting me borrow the press box. As everybody, it's dark. It's like a cemetery right now. Justin Prince, I've always said that about racetracks. It's they're glorious and they're like chapels and full of glory whenever racing's going on, but it's like a cemetery when it's nothing and it's dead quiet. But this race rolls on, and it has been, I would say, Justin, highly entertaining. I just see maybe these drivers, like you said, experience not coming to play. And in addition to that, maybe just being a little too aggressive. You got to wait patiently when you got to go. But I'll also say this, we're less than 10 laps to halfway.
Like I said, if it comes caution, precautions, more so on the 90-second front, or 90-minute
yes.
front. But it was trending towards that way, but it's becoming a bit of a roulette in terms of how this is playing out strategy-wise. And in the case of Hale, taking the lead as a result of what happened with that restart situation, how does Jordan Hale play this out in his first foray as the restart controller?
Doesn't matter whether it's virtual or reality. Definitely going to be highly entertaining. Here comes the field, making their way back inside the Geico restart zone. The green flag is back out, and this race is back underway. Ready to get this started again. Look at this battle now. Bruno, Hale,
There's the push.
trying to get some company.
Gonna push on by. Unlikely able to push Bruno back to the race lead. Working together with a fellow paint scheme from KBM. Now the top line starting to form up a little bit. Here comes Brent Evans. Needing some help though. It's taking some time for the shotgun driver of Donnie Baptiste to close on up to build up that top line.
Here comes the field working into turn number 3. That's going to be Matt Bruno, the leader. Adam Lechty, the second spot. Jordan Hale, now Evans will power his way to the outside to the 4th spot. Meanwhile, they cross the line. There goes the if you will, Morgan McClure throwback of the 2-time winner, Sterling Marlin in the 500, or even Ernie Irvin's car. Brent Evans now up to 4th. He's looking for 3rd in turn 1 on Fuller.
Looking back from Evans. Evans just maintaining the line. Here comes a little bit of the arrow push. Smart play from the 67, trying to keep the momentum going without making the contact. It's one of the names of the games with the trucks. When you have to make contact, well, you have that happen. But again, you can push without having to make contact. That's starting to get the top line to move.
Field works their way now in massive cloud cover, working off of turn number 4. It almost looks like they're coming to the dead of night in the vertical world at Daytona. Flashing under the flag stand. Bruno stays to the bottom. He'll stay right there with Evans. Lechty now will have Baptiste and Hale. Now they go 2 by 2. The go sign's been given. They can go 3 wide if they're brave enough into turn number 1.
Little bit of a bobble and a squiggle from Greg Thompson. Thompson able to hold on to it. Cody Leach behind him with the checkup. The group back up at the top side. Right now, this main grouping about 17 trucks deep. Here comes the run a bit off center again, the push. This time, Evans on the outside, looking to take the lead nearly to the fender.
Backstretch into turn number 3 and 4. Right now, Bruno holding on to that top spot. Lechty, Evans, Baptiste, followed by Hale. Top 5 coming to the line. Another lap of the board. It's now 5 laps away to halfway, and we'll be about 63 and a half miles in to the 125 miler. Here comes another opportunity. Battle for the lead, heating up in a 2.
A lot of bobbling on that top line though, needing to stay stable. Here comes Thompson. Involved in that last trigger of the caution flag, able to charge back up quickly though. The 313 machine looking to build it forward. Still, that top line not able to get enough momentum to clear.
Pretty cool. One of the fans here at Carter County Speedway checking out the broadcast of iRacing. He just texted me. He says, Justin Prince, I love trucks. Here they come out of turn 4, coming to the line. Matt Bruno up in front, Evans in second. And they're right now in a 2 by 2 by 2 tandem, working their way up into the outside lane. Evans now, that's the number 4, Morgan McClure. Marlin throwback truck goes to the lead. Our apologies, Justin. We want to clarify this. Some of the numbers on time and scoring not matching the numbers on the trucks. But right now, Bruno powers back to the lead on the bottom.
Trading paint, gonna trading paint. Right now, I'm actually trying to trade a little bit of paint to the back bumper of the lead truck still, trying to push Bruno back forward. He does not want that top line to clear. It's been working out well. Bruno continues to lead the laps. The major question is going to become the strategy point. 28 to go. Some drivers may be borderline to make it. Others have to come in for another stop soon.
Evans up on the outside lane. Here comes now the bottom of the racetrack with Bruno again right there behind him is Baptiste and Hale. Cochran his nose out of the top 5. We're coming up to the cross flags and another couple of laps. Lap trucks up and away off of turn 2. Bruno still to the bottom leads.
Traffic is approaching as well. That is Brandon Beckstead, who is trying to keep towards the middle bottom, if anything. Here come the leaders. One truck up in the wall. We stay green for now. And the lap truck stays to the yellow line. This could get interesting. Beckstead is weaving out of 4.
Bobbing, weaving, inside, outside, like a boxer in a squared circle. Somehow keeps control of that machine. ducks up under the Lexi machine. Evans now to the outside. Cochran now to the outside behind him. And all that pushing, shoving, hustling, tussling. He's right back in the top 4 out of turn 2.
Covering the wall with Bryson Dapper. Dapper already has brought the truck to the pit lane. Evans building up momentum. The top line is considered the better line down the straightaways. The bottom line, the better line in the corners. Brent Evans finding some help. Dennis Cochran. Tandem drops his way up. 1 and 2.
Working their way into turn number 3 now. Evans will have that Kodak film machine up on the outside lane. Here comes down some more names. Cochran up to the outside. He got turned. Contact. He bounces off the truck. And somehow they saved it. He saved the truck. And there's no caution. Are you serious? Wow. He stayed green. 1 lap, 2 laps to halfway, Justin. Incredible.
Keep in mind, Woodtail rules for super speedways say no manual cautions in all caps. Rule 13 to the book. And some of the drivers learning that throughout the night right now. That has separated out the main group a little bit. Now Greg Thompson to 3rd, Evans to 2nd, Bruno to 1st. Here comes some momentum. Hassett wants to get forward. Leach trying to find a way to move over, but the truck's next to him. Nearly into the door they go.
Unbelievable. Now we got one up in the fence. Hold on, buddy. Up on the side of Evans. Evans and the other trucks give way to one another. That's Hassett and a couple of other guys holding on as they come to the line. Cross flags this time by. Trucks coming to the pit lane. 25 down and 25 to go here in Daytona. And they're almost 3 wide behind the leader going to turn 1.
How long will this last is the question. They're nearly to the wall, the 23. That's Michael Wontorski trying to run up against the fence. Now everybody ditches him. Here comes Greg Thompson. Thompson on the way to the wall. One truck scrapes the fence. Again, it's the blue truck. They continue moving. One more slam to the wall. Significant damage now on the nose and the side of that yellow truck for Cody Leach. The 32 is going backwards.
63.5 miles down, 63.5 miles remain. That's 25 laps left to go here at Daytona in the World of Thunder exhibition race at the World Center of Racing. Right now, Bruno, Evans, Wood, top 3. They stay at the bottom. Here comes McNeil, Thompson, Batiste, Hassett. They're trying to get something organized, but the outside lane just won't work yet as they work to make it into turn 2.
Thompson is starting to look very tight too, pushing way up the track. One driver tries to block in the middle of the corner. That's Brandon McNeil. McNeil stays the bottom instead, moving to the middle. Johnny Wood. Wood does have damage though. Wood, hard cut to block off Thompson. Thompson doesn't check up and wrecks. There they go again.
And this time, somehow, it all comes apart. Caution's out, Justin. Big wreck. We got him flying through the air in turn number 3. Wow.
Russo coming up from upside down, and, well, Greg Thompson is not making friends out there. That was the second time in that circumstance we've seen him pick the tempo up. That time, no check. Just past halfway, there has to be some give and go, and let's take a look at the replay. I'm not sure what Wood was expecting either.
Look at that, flying through the air. So many trucks involved. The 57 up in the air. Jason Rousseau. The truck down there at the bottom, the blue and yellow truck snap-on machine, the number 12. Also caught up in it, by the way. That brings out another yellow flag, and the caution count is now 4 cautions, 8 laps in total, with the 4 lead changes here. That's presented by Virginia811.com, reminding you to dig with care. Leaders are looking like they're going to come down to the pit lane. We'll cover those stops, as right now, Justin, money stop coming up. Do you think this could take us to the finish, my friend?
Literally can. It very comfortably can, I should rather phrase. It's more so about the GWCs. I think you're comfortable if you come in regardless. I am not sure though, like Brandon McNeil just elected to stay out to take the lead, because he could have made it from here. If anything, McNeil has put himself in the back foot where everybody else can stay out if they stay clean here, and he can't.
By the way, we mentioned this when we came on the air. Some of these pit stalls are double box pit stalls for these drivers as well. We'll reset the field. We're closing in on 20 to go. We're back for the finish from Daytona. This is coverage of the World of Thunder eSports League Truck Series at iRacing on LSRTV, your home for sim racing.
At Clickit RV, we know there's a lot of heritage and history at this location. RV sales and service has been part of this community for decades. We knew there was an incredible opportunity here, but to see where we've come in just a year is incredible. None of it would be possible without the patronage and support from this community. So whether it be a more convenient and accessible service drive, a fully stocked parts department, or this amazing sales facility, what drives this team daily is making sure our customers leave here with the best possible experience.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Lights off of the pace car. Pucker time, 20 laps to go when the field comes back to the Geico restart zone in this exhibition race for the World of Thunder eSports League since 2017 on dirt, now on pavement. And this is their exhibition. I'm Wesley Outland. We've got Justin Prince alongside. Charles Wooten is handling our production in the Clickit RV LSRTV production booth in Texas. And I'll say this, Justin, Brandon McNeil, friend or foe, smart or dumb, staying out for the money stop pit stop as we get ready for the restart, buddy.
I think Brandon McNeil is about to learn how to be an iRacer because he joined iRacing on March the 28th, has never ran an official race, has won one official practice. This may or may not be his first chance as the leader, and oh my goodness.
Well, he about just brake checked and spun the tires and more. And that restart did not work for his advantage as he will fall all the way back. Leaders quickly bring Jed Presley down to the lead. Logan second, Lefty up on the outside. McNeil will fall back to fifth, and he's way below the yellow line. He says, have at it, boys. Welcome to iRacing, Justin Prince. I think he just said, I don't want no part of it.
I will say this. When it's your first time ever controlling the field, you do not want to psych yourself out. It's almost like he got so excited he forgot to shift into gear, but he can't make it to the end on gas either way. Down the front straightaway, Presley now the leader, and a few drivers having to peel down to the pit lane as a result there as well due to some of the black flags. Boy, Tipton also coming in this time.
19 to go. The leaders go back off into the corner. The leader up in front is, of course, Jed Presley. Lefty, Hassett, Logan, Sanders, top five. That's the way it stands. Top three to the bottom. They're 2 by 2 behind him to the back straightaway.
Presley half blocks it. That is not a smart play. 3 wide force. One car gets turned to the inside. A slide for Russo down to the grass. 3 wide still. Everybody trying to find their way forward. Now they ditch the 4. Now it's Sanders who gets ditched. There's a big bubble up the middle.
Big bobble, but somehow they still held it together. They worked their way back to the bottom of the tri-oval and put now a new man back up to that top spot. 18 laps to go now. They're getting more unorganized. Top 2 single file, then it's going on 3 wide. But here's one good thing as they start to scatter apart. They're up into the wall. Truck sideways. Truck's losing it. They save it. We stay green. Lechty leads them on the back straightaway. Adam Lechty up in front.
And that, with the no caution as a result of the squeeze there, could be huge. The pack has been broken up by Chad Presley. Austin K. Mitchell with nobody to work with. The top 5 have ran away from the rest of the field. Logan, Bruno, Evans, Hassett, along with Adam Lechty, all working together through 3 and 4. Is everyone else? Not so much.
I want to say it's Adam Lechty. Am I right? Is it Adam Lechty? I want to say it is. We've got Stephen Hassett second, Brent Evans third, Matt Bruno, Polk Truck back to 4th, and Matthew Logan top 5. And they're starting to break away from the rest of the pack as they work around the corner.
Let's indeed go with Lechty. That makes more sense. Top line,
yes,
starting to try and make a sense of its grouping. Logan pushing Evans. Now the tandem draft showcasing itself. And now it's the question, why would they not try and break away? They want to fight instead with 16 to go this time.
So it's right now time to head to the payout window and see what happens in this exhibition race. Lap trucks up on the outside lane. Evans and everyone else on the outside of the binders to miss the slow truck. Lechty to the bottom. And Hassett, Logan, Bruno. Somebody's got to move it line. The question is when. Lechty brings that number 4. I see that
Double turn
car.
1.
I see that truck trouble.
Greg Thompson spins on the apron. We stay green for now. That was in the second pack. Big check as more crashes. Ty Dahlman is crashing the 38 machine. Thompson is still spinning down on the grass. The leaders are still scrapping out down the backstretch. And because no other cars are near Greg Thompson, we stay green as the lap truck nearly comes up into the leaders and Presley.
Wow, what a save there, and what a move for Lechty to still now get past. Now Evans goes to the top spot. Evans, Lechty, Hassett, Bruno Mitchell coming to the line. 15 laps to go. They come to the stripe, 2.5 miles each lap. And this 125-miler is down to the home stretch. The leaders climb the bank and into turn number 1. Lechty now back to the outside. He's got to battle Evans at the bottom.
Just with all the shuffling and the little bit of chaos, Presley has closed up a significant disadvantage. Now this grouping 7 trucks looking to fight the top line, starting to get the momentum and the feet back forward. Bruno's getting the momentum. Here comes Evans on the bottom.
Working their way into the corner, 15 laps to go. Evans now has got him 2 by 2 behind him, maybe 3 wide. Powers to the bottom comes Lechty. Lechty gets around Evans. They're door to door. Bruno, Hassett, clear a path. They're coming to the line in 14 remaining. And now it is time to decide who is your friend, who's your enemy, who you going with. And again, who is going to make history? It is Evans. Every time, Justin, I see that Kodak machine, I think of Sterling Marlin, 2-time winner of the Daytona 500, and also Ernie Irvin, a 2-time winner of Daytona, driving the Kodak colors for Morgan McClure Racing.
Those Morgan McClure machines lightning quick in the 90s, to put it lightly, at Daytona International Speedway back in the day. Evans, though, now fully clear the bottom line. Keep in mind, he has to deal with some right side damage. That is hurting the inside momentum. Hassett forced to back up a bit to cool off the truck. The outside with the better momentum. Clearing 2 trucks now.
Working their way again to the front straightaway. 13 laps to go now. It's now Evans up on the outside. Bruno, pole truck back in the dance. He's got the 51 to the 51 behind him. That's Bruno, Matt Bruno, Adam Lechty right there. Evans falls back to 3rd, and they're working their way to the super stretch.
Lechty gonna be amongst those tied on the strategy windows based on the math here. We'll see how this goes here as Evans loses ground for the top side. Technical problem for a moment for Haskett. We stay fine for now. No other trucks are closing up. Of note, Jordan Hale's on his own and still somehow maintaining speed, while everybody else is 1 second off the pace of these trucks.
15 trucks on the lead lap now, as the leaders go to the line with 13 laps to go. Now 12 remaining. Matt Bruno passing by slow trucks on the bottom. Here comes a nice little shut from his teammate, Lecty. Lecty right there, giving Matt Bruno all he can handle as they work through the corner into turn number 2.
Well, if you're that close in the corner, that is a little treacherous. A little bit of a shove forward, once again pushed by now the 51 of Lecty. Bruno still preferring to be the one who's the Pied Piper. It's been that way much of the night. Bruno has led the most laps, 20 of 38, coming to the end of 39.
Those 7 trucks right now work off speed out of turn number 4. It's Bruno, Lecty, Evans, Mitchell, Hassett, Presley, Logan. And those are the drivers that are pulled away in that big pack. 11 to go now. And again, there's these drivers fighting it out. Then you've got about another 12 seconds back besides Hale by himself. York leads that second pack. And then there's only 14 trucks on the lead lap. The leaders of the back straightaway.
Coming up to 10 laps to go, and the intriguing part's going to be, do any drivers have to fuel in? A lot of fuel-only stops. All this as well, Logan, York, and company looking and hoping for a caution. They are losing time. They are not gaining ground. Brian Rainville's trying with damage to push. Gary Harger trying to keep up, has damage. Howie Meyer is losing ground. Dennis Cochran has damage. That pack losing ground to all these 7 up in front.
10 laps to go. 25 miles remain from this race to the finish. You've got 100 miles down, 25 miles in the books left to go. And Bruno is the man on the bottom of the racetrack. Couple of Toyotas and a Chevrolet. That's a 51. Bruno, Lecty in the 51. Timing and scoring says 59 and 47. But those are the drivers on the bottom, led by the other 7 of Evans on the 4 truck. Battling on the top, he's got Mitchell with him, as well as Hassett out of 4.
And Lecty has to pit. He's just indicated on the radio a pit stop this time.
Wow.
Does anybody elect to dive in? How about Hassett nearly running him over to come into the pit lane? And it looks like indeed they will have to come in. It looks like a 50% fuel limit is the reason why here. And Lecty with that entry losing ground to Hassett as a result of the time of the break.
Lecty, Hassett out of the game, possibly, unless we get a LRC late race caution. Meanwhile, Bruno brings him to the back straightaway. He's the man out in front. He's now dealing with Evans and Mitchell, new players of the battle. Also, Logan and Presley, top 5 in their single file going to 3.
There's a lot of communication on the radio trying to coordinate. Do we pit now? Do we stretch it as long as we can for the splash and dash? It is a splash and dash scenario for much of the field with the amount of fuel needed to make it to the end. No one up towards the front except for the driver at the tail of the pack, Jed Presley, electing to stay out there. Now it's the matter coming around with 8 laps to go. Who elects to try and go win? And how does this play out for how long these drivers need to be in the box to win this race?
Sutherland, the 2 onto the pit lane now, as Bruno now pulling away. More slow traffic up in front of them. They all bonsai to the inside. They clear by them. That's that slow traffic, and what was a 7-truck tandem is now down to 4. Bruno, Evans, Mitchell, Logan lead them off single file. The tandem is into turn 3.
Hearing the most drivers can go right now. 3 laps, about 4 to go. We're talking for stops. Drivers needing to be brave.
Wow.
When it comes to this end coming up here to decide this race, Evans still electing to ride. When will the leaders blink? Coming around, 7 to go, coming to 6 next time.
Obviously, the word is blink, but don't blink, obviously, as well, because you don't want to make no error. But I think a lot of people are crossing their fingers, hoping to see that yellow flag light up and illuminate the caution lights, but they don't want to be a part of that caution. But they need one. 7 to go. When do you pit? Bruno stays hugged to the double yellow line to the inside. Evans will follow as they go to 3.
Some of that communication continuing. Drivers still trying to figure out who can make it, who can't. Here we go. Bruno has led a lot of the laps. He can go one more lap, might be next time. Now the second pack will be the big question, Wesley, because there's been a lot of chatter between York and Rainville in particular to figure out who can go and who can't go past here.
York and Rainville about 16 seconds back to this pack of 4 or 5 trucks. Now some lap machines right there. That's that pack we were telling you about. Pack number 2, 16, 17 seconds back, led by York, Rainville, Meyer, Harger. Some of these drivers that are right there in that mix. But we go now. Here we go. It's going to be 5 to go when they come to the line. The question is, with 10 miles remaining, hold on to it. Wait patiently. See where you can be. They work the back stretch, and again, nobody's showing signs of slowing there, Justin.
The leaders are slowing, though, on the other side, and a slide at the back of the line. That's Austin K. Mitchell into the lane. Evans with the first box into the stall. This is the money stop now. This is the complete money stop. Fuel only expected. 6 second stops the norm. The second pack expected to send some drivers too. They went conservative on their entry. This huge, big send. Meanwhile, Dennis Cochran behind them as the rest of the drivers complete the stops. Austin K. Mitchell has taken 2 tires and has lost the lead group.
Everybody is coming back onto the pit lane, and everyone in that pack behind York also come to their pit stalls. Money stop for everyone, and this is going to try to bunch them up. Bruno, Evans, Logan, Mitchell, first 4 in and out on the racetrack. Here comes the rest of the cavalry. Here is 5 to go at Daytona.
Down the back straightaway, Bruno and Evans, the best of time up their stops. Matthew Logan, 3 seconds back. They executed the splash and dash to perfection to be able to get the advantage with the track time. Absolutely huge for the top 2.
5 laps to go. Here come the leaders working off of turn number 4. That's that front pack, making that money stop, a fuel gamble. This race, Justin Prince, 50-lap exhibition, has had it all. Chaos, craziness, calamity, strategy, fuel mileage gamble, and now who will survive? As Bruno, the man who led him to the green, is still up in front with 4 to go, but Evans is ready to strike. The question is when. They're on the back straightaway.
That's the toughest part when it's one-on-one. It's basically Talladega Nights Electric Boogaloo, the sequel to the movie at this point. How do you try and play this out? There's no traffic to work with. Evans just has to find a way to get this run. Bruno has to find a way to block off any runs with 3 to go. This could get interesting.
Inside, outside, still holding on to that spot. They work their way back into the tri-oval. 3 laps to go now. Closing in, under 10 miles remaining now. And it is still Bruno up in front. Evans, they are now having a 6-second lead on Mitchell. Austin Mitchell is 7 seconds back. This will be the battle for the win. Records or checkers as they hit the back straightaway.
Evans just waiting for the right time. It's too early to try and do it with just one truck to battle with. The other truck 17 seconds back still. As long as it stays green, it's down to these 2. Evans waiting for the right time to press the go button.
Who is your pick? Who you gonna say to win this thing right now? And if you're not done so, hit that subscribe button at LSRTV on YouTube to keep up with the other upcoming World of Thunder eSports League Truck Series races on Sunday night. It's down to 5 miles. Bruno, Evans, 2 to go. The leaders are in turn 2.
Evans still looking like he's trying to set something up now. He built up a little diamond line. Now the blocks begin. Bruno taking them up the middle. Evans staying up to the bumper. No move inside yet. Letting him set it up. Trying to see how this plays out. Now it's shuffling towards Days of Thunder mode. Coming up to the white flag this time.
We're closing in on the outside lane comes Evans. Evans now peeks back to the inside, trying to make that run. Bruno will not be denied, though. He walks on the outside lane to the inside. He opens up the They come to the white flag. 1 to go here at Daytona. Final lap of the inaugural World of Thunder eSports League Exhibition Truck Race into turn number 1. Here comes Evans. He's got the run. He's going to make it work on Bruno. Can he be there at the end? They're in turn 2.
Bruno trying to build back up the run, letting Evans drive inside. Is that a mistake from Evans? Bruno builds the drop back. Evans loses the bottom. Here comes Bruno with the drift effect to the inside to retake the race lead. It's a drag race off to turn 3.
The drag race will continue down to the bottom of the advantage will be now to Bruno. Bruno clears by Evans. He'll now make the move. Crossover, slide job, not coming yet. Evans reels in one more time. He goes to the outside. Here they come to the line. Welcome to the eSports Racing League photo finish. Brent Evans wins. Brent Evans will win 0.03 at the line. Evans over Bruno by 0.03 of a second. Welcome to the world of Thunder on pavement, eSports style.
Take a page out of Cole Trickle's book, why don't you? Just setting him up for that final run up on the outside. Able to pull him back with the side draft. Evans let Bruno play himself a bit, thinking he had it out of 4. Just couldn't get the block off to be able to start the run. Evans with the side draft, a great execution.
.03 at the line on the margin of victory. And welcome these drivers. And I tell you what, Brent Evans set that up to perfection. I think Matt Bruno was trying to get one more shot at him, but I think Matt Bruno was trying to protect the bottom more. And whenever that slingshot engage happened, if you will, or go to the outside, you can't hold it. As you mentioned, Days of Thunder, the number 4 Brent Evans truck made that stick. And he is the inaugural recorded winner of the history of the World of Thunder eSports League Truck Series exhibition tonight at Daytona. Let the celebration begin.
Would you believe Brent Evans is one of the drivers who came from the dirt side?
I would. Boy, oh boy, let's take a look at the unofficial results here for this event. What a great show. Brent Evans is the winner. Matt Bruno second. Austin Mitchell lost ground on that late race fuel pit stop of stop and go for fuel, splash and go, and Mitchell will settle for third. Matthew Logan, solid run for another dirt driver. He'll finish fourth, and Stephen Haas at the top 5. Jed Presley, Logan York, Howie Mayer, Brian Rainville, Adam Lepke was in the game, had to pit. He'll have to settle, Justin, for top 10.
On those towards the back end of the lead lap, Gary Harger at 24 seconds back with Jordan Hale. Dennis Cochran lost the touch of the draft. He finished 13th. Everybody else fell a lap down. Brendan McNeil's strategy call did not work out, having to pit very early after staying out and not having the greatest of first restarts to his iRacing career. In 14th, Greg Thompson, Kevin LeJean's in the top 16. Salter, Sutherland, Eden, Presley, the top 20.
21st will go to Michael Wontrowski in the 23, Johnny Wood Jr. 22nd, followed by Brandon Gibbs 23rd. All these trucks, by the way, multiple laps down, including Reed Sanders, Ty Dahlman, top 25, Donnie Batiste, Jason Rousseau, Cody Leach, Clay Tipton, Josh Fuller at one time up in the game. He'll settle for 30th.
31st spot goes to Christopher Bammer, involved in that restart situation. And in Beckstead, after contact, under caution with Terry Davis, finished 27 laps down in 33rd. Derek Redfield, 34th. Jason Coburn, J.R. Skaggs, Scruggs should say, in 36th. Robert Denton, and then Terry Davis, 38th. On the early end, sits to today's race. Jonathan Byram, along with Jaden Sheehan. Landon Price was the last driver who completed the race today. Everybody else did not start, including 2 who did qualify. Josh Williams and Mike DeGroot did not take the green flag. But in the end, Wesley, it's the Hotspot Rocket who wins it.
Hotspot Rocket, Brent Evans gets it done. Let's, before we do go and get ready for post-race, show you one more time that Virginia 811 caution racing summary of the event. There you see it. 4 cautions. Second half of the race got a lot more clean because I think the trouble was out of the way. 12 caution laps in total. And of course, they do go the 50-lap distance. No need for overtime. 11 lead changes. The one that counted the most was for Brent Evans. Brent Evans, Matt Bruno, Austin Mitchell, if they're available, we're talking to them when we come back. The World of Thunder eSports leg post-race show from Daytona is coming up. Stick with us. Next, this is iRacing on LSRTV.
Welcome back to LSRTV for post-race coverage for the World of Thunder eSports League for an exhibition race here at iRacing's virtual Daytona International Speedway. An eventful exhibition race to start off the pavement era when it comes to hotel competition. It's none other than one of the drivers known more so for being one of the top dirt prospects who takes the victory. It's Brent Evans who picks up the victory from 34th to 1st tonight. The hotspot rocket with the checkered flag. Brent, first of all, an intriguing ending to the race, a splash and dash situation with you and Matt Bruno, and then it became Days of Thunder / Talladega Nights to decide the winner. 2 drivers all alone.
Yeah, man, that last pit stop there, as you know, I don't race these much. I got him pretty hot, somehow didn't get the black flag. I seen Bruno, I thought he was maybe setting me up when he let me go to the bottom in 1 and 2. Maybe he knew something I didn't. So I took it, went for it, man, and coming off 3 and 4, I took the high side. Maybe he just didn't want to cause both of us to crash trying to block there, but man, all in all, great race.
It seemed like an intriguing night. How would you describe, in terms of, from your perspective, the flow and rhythm throughout the night, especially with you having to come through the pack and doing so pretty quickly?
Yeah, it was kind of nerve-wracking. Seen a few guys kind of swerving a lot, you know, as once I found Bruno later in the race there, I realized I could kind of run with him, you know, little bump draft on the straightaways there. So kind of eased my nerves a little bit. And once we got into a rhythm, just played out in our favor, man.
So in regards to yourself, of course, a lot of expertise on the dirt side. In fact, one of the top dirt pro prospects currently in that pipeline right now. How's that focal point thing going to be like in turn, or should we expect to be like in Woodtail when it comes to now the asphalt side of things, especially with the schedule playing things out for the future? 26 planned dates in total.
Yeah, I seen them putting this race up. Haven't really made my mind up if I was going to run it or not. You know, this kind of plays a big part in it as we won. It kind of gives me some enthusiasm, but not really sure. I'm still thinking about it. As you know, we're pretty big on the dirt side over there, trying to work on setups and stuff. So we'll see how it plays out, man, and figure out what we're going to do.
Any shout outs you like to give for tonight?
Big shout out, man, and just everyone that supports what we do, everybody on the dirt side that supports what we do. Wotel for putting on this show, you guys for the broadcast, man, we really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Brent Evans coming away with the victory tonight in a drag race, back and forth on the final lap. Doing so with Matt Bruno, the difference 0.027 seconds. Matt Bruno on the other side of the conversation here. Matt, Coming up second in this exhibition race, first of all, leading 31 of the 50 laps. A strong night for you. How are you feeling second in the exhibition for first race of a new era in this series?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. It was pretty calm out front for the most part. That's where I try to lead all my plate races. I try to stay in the top of either lane. This race was mostly on the bottom. And the way it shook out there is just 2 cars. I didn't want to be leading. I did try to, I gave it up to him. And then he left the bottom open going into 3, and I didn't think he'd get the momentum back. And then I left the bottom open again out of 4, and he was just smart, and he went high. So how it shakes out sometimes. I wish we caught those lap cars just in front of us. I was kind of planning on using them as a pick, but that's how this stuff shakes out. But yeah, just glad I didn't get involved in the chaos behind me.
Now, I do want to ask a bit about the background of you over yourself, because you may be amongst those in terms of if you're from the official side. Drivers may not have raced against too much. In fact, the last time you raced 100 official races, 2019. So, where is your background lying in terms of your racing performances on the oval side?
I kind of just do a little bit of everything. I don't have a lot of time to hop in officials these days with kids and whatnot. So at night, sometimes I'll just hop in whatever I see on the hosted side. But I run a lot of short track stuff. And this side just caught my eye tonight, so I just clicked on it and ran it. I like super speedways if they're run right, and you guys seem to run a tight ship. There were some squirrels out there, but they seem to weed themselves out. So yeah, I don't know. I just run a lot of short track stuff. I like modifieds, like the late models, A, B, C. If it's on a short track, I don't like that 1.5 mile stuff. It's kind of boring. So yeah, I mean, I like dirt too. I run dirt occasionally, and I just kind of run everything. I just try to mix it up.
You race a few rookie jumping truck races, but should we expect to see, or will we see you once again more so in terms of competition for the World of Thunder? Of course, a big presence on dirt, shuffling over to pavement this year.
Yeah, I mean, if I got time to hop in our races, for sure, man. I like the way they're run, so if I'm able to do it, yeah, I'd love to do more.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
I mean, you guys did a hell of a job putting on a race. Shout out to my boy Isaac for painting my truck. Looks real nice. Love the Kyle Busch NOS from back in the day. And yeah, thanks to Brent for running me clean there at the end.
Well, congratulations once again on the second place finish.
Thanks.
That is Matt Bruno coming away in second spot. How about that? An open night, and a chance in turn. Race for the victory throughout the night. The next time up for World of Thunder eSports competition will be next time on the weekend on the Sunday. And April the 9th, 8:15 will be the start of roll through. About 8:25, start of coverage here on LSRTV. It's Kentucky on the docket next. How will drivers play out on a speedway? We'll find out next time. For those looking to keep an eye on Northwest competition, there's plenty of it this week, because the Northwest Truck Series presented by Clickit starts off the week at Kansas. That takes place tomorrow night at about 11:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Catch that here on LSRTV as well as CRN at about 8:15 Pacific Time. Then on April the 5th, the Northwest Clickit RV Fixed Series, that's with the Xfinity cars, heads as well to Kansas. That starts at 11:15 p.m. Eastern, 8:15 Pacific, LSRTV and CRN. And then dirt action takes place with the Northwest Racing Dirt Series at Lincoln. Coverage starts at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on April the 6th. Be sure to tune in once more to an LSRTV. But with that, it's time to say goodbye. For my co-announcer tonight, Wesley Owen, for producer Charles Wooden, and for everyone from World of Thunder Esports League, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You've been watching LSRTV, your home for sim racing. Enjoy the rest of your night.